Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the intriguing world of autism. For some of you, this might be your first introduction to autism, and for others, you might know someone on the spectrum. Here are 10 fascinating curiosities about autistic people that you might not know. I think you'll find that we have a lot more in common than differences.
Imagine feeling the sound of nails on a chalkboard or a scratchy tag on your shirt much more intensely. That's what sensory sensitivity can be like for many autistic people. It's like having the volume turned up on certain senses. For some, bright lights feel like lasers, or loud noises make them jump. Others might find certain textures unbearable. Some autistic people might have a hard time hearing whispers or seeing things far away. Imagine trying to concentrate in a classroom with buzzing lights and squeaking chairs. It can be overwhelming. What might seem like a small distraction to you could be a major sensory overload for someone on the spectrum. Sensory sensitivities are real and can have a big impact on daily life. A little understanding can go a long way.
We all have things we're interested in, right? Maybe you love to paint, or maybe you're a history buff. Autistic people often have incredible passions called special interests. These aren't just hobbies, they're deep dives into fascinating subjects. It could be anything from trains to dinosaurs to coding. When we find something that captures our attention, we want to learn everything about it. These passions can lead to amazing things. Some autistic people become experts in their fields. Our ability to focus and retain information can be a real superpower. You might be surprised by what you learn, and you'll definitely see their passion shine through.
Everyone has their own way of talking. Some folks are chatty, some are more reserved. Autistic people might communicate differently, but that doesn't mean we don't have a lot to say. Some might be great at talking, while others prefer writing, typing, or even sign language. Some use alternative communication systems like picture cards or electronic devices. Autistic people often take things literally. We might need extra time to process what you've said before we can respond. The most important thing is to focus on the message, not just the method. Communication is a two-way street.
Imagine having a day where everything goes exactly as planned. For many autistic people, having routines and predictability isn't just comforting, it's essential. Our brains are wired differently, and the world can feel chaotic and unpredictable. Routines help create a sense of order and control. It reduces anxiety and helps us feel safe and secure. Knowing what to expect helps us conserve energy and focus on other things. Life throws curveballs sometimes, and unexpected things happen. If an autistic person is struggling with a change in routine, try to be patient and supportive. Routines aren't about being rigid, they're about creating stability. When we feel safe and secure, we can better engage with the world around us.
Have you ever caught yourself fidgeting with a pen or tapping your foot? We all have little ways of moving our bodies to release energy or deal with stress. For autistic people, these movements, called stimming, are even more important. Stimming can look like flapping hands, rocking back and forth, or repeating certain words. These movements help regulate sensory input and emotions. When we're feeling overwhelmed, stimming helps to calm our nervous systems. Trying to suppress stimming can make anxiety and discomfort worse. The next time you see an autistic person stimming, try not to stare or make them feel self-conscious. It's just their way of coping with the world around them. You might even learn a thing or two about self-regulation from watching them.
Close your eyes and imagine a cat. Do you see a fluffy creature with whiskers and a tail? That's visual thinking in action. For many autistic people, this way of thinking is how we experience the world. Instead of words, we often think in pictures, patterns, and spatial relationships. This can be a real advantage in fields like art, design, and engineering. If you can visualize how things fit together, you're great at building things or solving puzzles. Visual thinking is often our primary mode of processing information. If you're explaining something to an autistic person, it might be helpful to use visuals. Our brains are wired for visual input, and it's how we make sense of the world.
Socializing can be tricky, even for people who aren't autistic. There are so many unspoken rules and social cues that can be hard to decipher. For many autistic people, social interaction can be overwhelming and confusing. We might miss subtle cues like facial expressions or tone of voice. Because we often take things literally, sarcasm and humor can be difficult to grasp. We might say the wrong thing at the wrong time, not because we're trying to be rude, but because we didn't understand the social context. Just because we interact differently doesn't mean we're not capable of forming meaningful relationships. If you're interacting with an autistic person, try to be direct and clear in your communication. Avoid using figures of speech or sarcasm, and be patient if they need time to process what you've said. Authenticity goes a long way in any relationship.
Have you ever walked into a room and immediately noticed a tiny stain on the carpet? Or a picture hanging slightly askew? For many autistic people, this keen attention to detail is just part of how we experience the world. Our brains are wired to pick up on patterns and discrepancies. This attention to detail can be a real asset in many areas of life. It makes us meticulous workers, able to spot errors and inconsistencies. We excel in fields that require precision, like accounting and computer programming. Our attention to detail is a gift, allowing us to see the world in a unique and fascinating way. We appreciate the beauty and complexity that others might miss.
Imagine trying to juggle multiple tasks at once, planning a project, remembering appointments, and organizing your thoughts. For many autistic people, these executive functioning skills can be a real struggle. Executive functioning refers to the mental processes that help us plan, organize, manage time, and regulate our emotions. But for some autistic people, this control center might not function as smoothly. We might struggle with planning and organization, time management, and working memory. Impulse control and emotional regulation can also be challenging. These challenges can make everyday life feel like a constant uphill battle. But with the right support and strategies, autistic people can learn to navigate these difficulties and thrive.
They say that variety is the spice of life, and autistic people bring a whole lot of flavor to the table. Our unique perspectives and problem-solving approaches can be real assets in all sorts of fields. Because we often see the world differently, we're able to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. Our ability to hyper-focus on specific interests can lead to incredible expertise in niche areas. We might notice patterns that others miss or approach problems from a completely different angle. This kind of out-of-the-box thinking is essential for progress and innovation. The next time you encounter an autistic person who seems to think differently, embrace their unique perspective. You never know what amazing insights you might gain.
Thanks for watching. I hope this video gave you a little glimpse into the fascinating world of autism. Remember, autistic people are just like everyone else. We have our own strengths, challenges, and unique ways of experiencing the world. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And the next time you meet someone on the spectrum, remember that understanding and acceptance can make all the difference. See you next time.